Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So it's been a few days, so I wanted to give a general update and go over some news that's came out over the last however many days and just reiterate that mass adoption is continuing at a rapid pace. So I don't know why anybody would be anything other than super bullish on this market, but that besides the point. I want to go over the information that's came out over the last week and hit on a few different things, and then I'll be done. So this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. So Jay Powell tells us what we already knew to begin with, and that is the US has no plans to ban cryptocurrency. Now, he did go on to reference the SEC and there being some type of regulations put in place. That being said, this is more of the same. Mass adoption continues. And if the bankers really hated cryptocurrency, which is, again, a common narrative that we hear over and over and over again, it probably scares a lot of people into panic selling because they think the people in charge are actually against cryptocurrency. But Jay Powell, who would be, if anybody was going to be against cryptocurrency, it would be the Fed. Okay. This is, in theory, or on the surface level, cryptocurrency, stable coins, all those things are a direct threat to the US dollar. People are getting out of dollars and getting into digital assets, which is a direct threat to the banking system, the Fed, the central banks, everything. And he's like, no, we got no plans on doing that. So, just keep that in mind moving forward. Morgan Stanley has doubled their Bitcoin exposure with Grayscale. Now, I had mentioned Morgan Stanley had a position in Grayscale, probably a month or two ago. That being said, they have increased it by 105% since April. So over the summer, where everybody was like bull market, bear market, are we just going to go into this 4-year, 3-year, lull where nothing ever happens? Well, during that time, Morgan Stanley was doubling their holdings. Okay. The first Bitcoin and Ethereum combination ETF launches in Canada, more adoption, right? Integrating this more into traditional investing, and it's happening all over the world. Visa unveils a universal payment channel for blockchain. MasterCard teams up with a Ripple partner, Lulu, in the UAE to enhance remittances. And there's a lot of other news. There's news coming out all the time about MasterCard and Visa and new partnerships that they are, gaining almost by the week, it seems like. TikTok has now adopted NFTs, and I don't mention this enough, but famous musicians, artists, athletes, everything, all coming out endorsing cryptocurrency, blockchain tech, NFTs, all across the board. Polygon, and this is another reason why, if anybody is discouraged about price action with certain investments that they have, Polygon is the perfect example. Really, Polygon and AMP, but Polygon specifically is the perfect example of why you can't get too caught up on that. Polygon, for the first time, daily active addresses topped Ethereum. This is such a big deal. And Polygon, okay, this is not just the first time we've heard some big news about Polygon. They were also adopted by Ernst & Young, which, thinking back on it, that may be one of the most significant announcements that I've done on this channel. And it just got thrown in with all the other announcements. The fact that Ernst & Young, one of the big four, is adopting Polygon for their enterprise level clients is a huge, huge deal. And Polygon was flat that whole time and even dipped down shortly after that. On top of that, Coinbase has now started moving a lot of transactions over to Polygon. Polygon is growing at an insane pace. And if you just go look at all the different job openings they have, all the hiring that they've done over the last 6 to 8 months, it's crazy. So, but if you look at their price, and if you were just looking at their price over the last 3 to 4 months, you'd be like, what's wrong with Polygon? Nothing's happening with Polygon. They're not doing anything. Nothing's going on with them, right? But if you actually understand what's going on, you can say they are adopting this particular platform at a rapid pace. It's being adopted by everyday users. It's being adopted by institutional users. Some of the biggest institutional players in the space are adopting Polygon. So short-term price action, I will say it again, does not matter. Okay, adoption, continued adoption, users on the platform, continuing to have new partnerships, adding more value propositions to your users. Those are the things that matter over the big picture. Now, I want to go over this because this is good news for cryptocurrency in general, and it could be viewed as being bad news for AMP and Flex the network. However, I don't see it that way, and I will show you how I have continued to add to my AMP position. But a new partnership between Bitpay and Verifone could allow you to soon buy pizza with cryptocurrency. So this came out the other day. Now, I looked a little bit deeper into this because my mind automatically went to AMP and Flex the network. And so I started looking into BitPay a little bit more in depth. And they do look like they have similar functionality to AMP and Flex the network. And Verifone would be a alternative to NCR. So if you go into a lot of the stores, you'll see maybe an NCR machine set up for accepting payments, but you also may see a Verifone setup, like the machine that you stick your card in is a Verifone machine, right? The machine that the cashier is using behind you is a Verifone machine, the same way like it is with National Cash Registry. That being said, I never expected one particular payment system to control 100% of the space. I don't think this is space, and I've been saying this since I started the channel. I don't think that this entire network, this new internet that we're moving to, was designed to only have one player dominate each individual sector. Chainlink would be an exception in this regard. That being said, there's still smaller competitors to Chainlink, and I have to imagine that over time, the smaller oracles will start to take up more of the market share. But with this particular scenario, right, I look at the different companies in the industries. A lot of gas station chains use Verifone. Now, there are some, I believe I was in, is Kroger the other, maybe not Kroger, maybe it was Harris Teeter the other day. And I believe that they were using Verifone machine setups. Now, what I expect to see out of this whole thing is I expect in the next 5 to 10 years, the BitPays of the world, the Flexes of the world, there will be multiple options to pay at every single large retailer. I think that you'll be able to pay through Flexa. I think you'll be able to pay through other, if BitPay continues to grow and add partnerships, I think you'll have the option to pay through BitPay. The same way today that we have an option to pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, however it is that you want to pay, those machines have implemented those payment options into their network so that they can offer as many different options to the people that are shopping at their store as possible. And I think that we'll see the exact same thing over time with the different payment solutions. And and another reason why I'm not particularly worried about this is because BitPay does not have like a cryptocurrency token or does not run their transactions from what I can see on top of the blockchain. So I think that this is just going to be another payment option. We saw Quiznos adopt I think it was backed payment solution for accepting cryptocurrency. So this is great news for adoption, though, because what this is showing is that the payment systems are the ones that are like the already built payment systems that are already in all of these stores, whether it be gas stations, retail stores, AMC theaters, whatever it may be. The payment systems, they are adopting their partnerships at the fastest pace out of any other area. And what that tells me is that they are getting all of their ducks in a row and they are checking all the boxes that they need to be able to finally roll this out. And when they do, all the different stores that we would go and buy things from have already implemented their crypto payment, capabilities. And so that's what I'm seeing with this is whether it's NCR, whether it's Verifone, whether it's GK software that we saw signing with Flex Network, all of these, software-based or, payment-based companies are partnering with applications that will allow them to accept cryptocurrency. And we're seeing that continue. And I think that that's a great thing. Now, what I've been doing over the last week or so, I've just been continuing to buy. Like I've increased my AMP position by 50%. My AMP position used to be 43,000 AMP tokens, and I've increased that up to 65,000. I mean, when I saw the partnership down in El Salvador with the largest financial institution in El Salvador, and then when I saw the GK software partnership, I said, okay, I'm going to start reallocating a lot more money to AMP. because in my opinion, they've done what I needed to see over the last 2 months to show the continued partnership and to show them opening themselves up to a much wider base of clients. On top of that, I've really gone ham on Anchor Network. I have 20,000 Anchor tokens at this point, and I'm very bullish on Anchor Network for a number of different reasons. I'm not going to get into all of them right now. Added a little bit more to my Luna position, so I now have close to about $700 in Luna. And as much as I hated to buy Luna at the price point that I did, I'm glad I did now, because I think once this takes off, I don't think that Luna's ever coming back to these prices. And I wasn't going to miss out the same way I did with, maybe like a Solana or a Phantom or something like that, or an Avalanche. Bought a little bit more Bitcoin, a little bit more Ethereum. And this might look a little bit different because I've moved my Polygon and my Orchid to my external wallet. And I'm in the process of transferring a lot of my crypto from exchange to my wallet. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, and I bought some more ICP as well, and for my mom. So I did that also. But that's really all I have for this video. I just wanted to give you all a quick update and remind you and reiterate that we are in a period of mass adoption. We are in the implementation phases of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency and digital assets. This is going to continue. There's going to be more announcements that come out this week, and it's just going to progress until we are fully implemented. So there's absolutely it's insane that anybody would be anything other than super bullish on this market. I mean, there is too much adoption happening to keep up with. If this was my full-time job, I would have my hands full just covering all the announcements, all the upgrades, all the new partnerships, everything. It would be a full-time job keeping up with that. So that's how much is going on in this space right now, and that's how bullish this market is. So that's all I have for this video. I'll probably put something else out later on this evening. Let me know if you have any thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you, everyone who's liked, share, and subscribe. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.